This time of year, there is a lot of cooking going on, and many of you will want to use your cute and stylish pot holders to grab your hot pot. Well, I'm going to show you in this video how to make this really cute pocket style pot holder. All this coming up next on Sewing with Nyler. So this is the fabric that I use. It's a sample piece of fabric from an upholstery shop, and I just thought it was really cute, and I thought it would make a really nice decorative pot holder. So this is where I cut the other one out. To start with, I just freehand a pattern for my heart, and I did that by just taking a piece of paper, and like I said, this is scrap paper, so you may see some writing on it. I like to recycle, and you're just going to take it, and it doesn't have to be perfect, and you're just going to freehand your heart. And folding it in half allows you to cut the heart out for both sides. And that's pretty much what I did. So as you can see, you know, there's my heart. It's not the perfect shape like the other one, but it doesn't matter. Just whatever shape you want is fine. And then I took my heart and I measured out 1.5 inches on each side. Mark that. 1.5 inches on the other side. Mark that. And then I just took a ruler and I just drew from that line to the center on both sides. Or you can just do it on one side because you're going to cut it. But I'll go ahead and do it on both sides so you can see it. Okay, so now that's my line drawn. So now I'll just cut out this one side right here. I don't need the other one, because now I'm going to cut two of these and they got to be like facing each other. So here's our first pattern. Here's our hand pocket pattern. Now I'll start with the pocket first because as you see, the back part of the pot holder is just a solid black cotton fabric. So this one is going to be the outer edge here. So I like to save fabric, so I'm going to try to cut this so that I can save it and maybe make another pot holder out of it. But I'm just going to lay it down. You can chalk it out if you like. But I think I'm just going to freehand cutting it because, like I said, there's nothing fancy about this. Everything is just freehand. And if you want to, you could pin it in place. Just for those of you that like to pin, and then that way you can turn it and just cut it like this all the way around. Okay, and there's our one side there. So now, since you cut that one this way, you want to cut this one the opposite way. So I think I'm going to go on this side of the fabric. And I'm going to pin it again, just like I did the other one. And I'm going to cut it out also. So now we have our two pieces. These would end up being sewn like that. So that takes care of the pocket portion. Well, now we have to make the heart itself. So to cut out a heart piece, or the back piece, I've got a piece of cotton fabric that's going to be my back, and I'm cutting out two pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this down, just kind of eye it, and then just cut it out in a square. Okay. And the reason I did that is because now we've got to quilt this. So I'm going to go to the ironing board, I'm going to press it down, and check out my video on how I quilted the inside, because I'm going to quilt it myself, or you can buy quilted fabric. So I've sandwiched my two pieces of batting in between the fabric. So now I'm going to quilt it, and to quilt it I'm actually using a gold thread because I thought it would make it a little more decorative. I wanted you to see what the fabric looks like by using that gold. See how it kind of just makes it pop off the fabric versus using the black. I love using coordinating colors. You could have used a lime green or any other color. I could have even used a white. Anything that you want to use, it'll make it pop and stand out more. So there we have it. Now we're just going to take our heart, lay it on the top, and we're going to pin our heart in place. And once we got it pinned in place, we're going to cut it out. Now that the heart is cut out, you want to lay your other pieces on top just to give you an idea of what they're going to look like. So one's going to go like that, kind of sideways. And then this one will go like that. Okay, so now that's what they're going to look like. But before we do that, you want to go ahead and put your seam binding on the outer edge of the pocket. You can make your own seam binding or you can order it. And in this case, I have some already. And if you want to know how to make it, just check out my video on how to make your own seam binding. I'm just going to fold it over. And I'm going to top stitch. And then I'm just going to cut that off at an angle so that I still have my point. You also want to cut the top portion in a point as well. So now that that's done, we'll go ahead and lay them back on top of our back side of our cover. And you're going to pin these in place. Now you can do one of two things. You can sew around the whole thing to hold it in place, or you can just go ahead and sew both pieces and catch them as you go. So because I like to do shortcuts, I'm going to sew both of them at the same time. But I want to make sure that I can see the back as I'm sewing this so that I know I caught it. I'm going to start at the point. I'm going to cross the point over just like that. And I'm going to hold it down and catch them both at the same time. When I get to the center, I'm going to make sure that those two flaps overlap. And I'm going to stop in the center. Put the needle down, pick it up, turn it, and then continue. And that'll give you a nice little point without having to stop and cut. Now we're nearing the end, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut some extra fabric off. I'm going to fold that over, and then I'm going to take this portion and fold it in. Get in the center, fold this over, and then overlap that one, and that way you can get your point while you're sewing. Okay. Now we finished putting the trim on. It caught both sides. So I'm going to take the pins out. And there you have it. You have your pot holder. And I just made a set of 2. And these would make great gifts because this time of year people are thinking about nice gifts that they can give people. And homemade gifts are always the best. So you can make a couple of sets of these. Give them to your friends. And you'll be ready to tackle any cooking project that you may have coming up. And you'll look stylish in doing so. So I hope this tip has been helpful on how to make your pocket pot holders. And I hope you make a ton of these and give them as gifts. And I hope you try it. Happy sewing.